Morning light cuts through the curtains. A woman wakes up on a leather chair. Her back is aching. She hears movement in the kitchen. She lifts her head. His voice is soft, too soft. "You didn't leave me alone, right?" She's stunned. "What? No, I stayed to monitor you." He turns around. A grateful smile crosses his face. "Good, because now you've given me something I thought I'd lost." She doesn't understand. Then she sees it. Medical files on the table. A video call open. His entire family 1 years old. A tall woman with kind eyes and gentle hands. Single mother, head cardiologist at Metropolitan Hospital. Her son Alex is 12, smart kid, loves science. Every morning she drops him at school in her old SUV. She always tells him the same thing. When someone needs help, you help them, no questions asked. Words her own father taught her growing up in Boston. Her patient is different. David Chen, 29, young tech entrepreneur, brilliant, intense, known for working himself to exhaustion. Everyone admires him. Everyone envies him. Nobody really sees him. Tonight the hospital is hosting a medical conference. The ballroom is packed, wine flows, presentations shine. Sarah gives a speech. Her voice is steady, but David notices her checking her phone. She drinks more coffee than usual. The conference winds down. People exchange cards, they network, they leave. Sarah stands by her car, ready to go home, ready to see Alex. Her mother is watching him tonight. Then the administrator runs over, worry in his eyes. David collapsed, really bad. "Can you please stay with him?" Sarah hesitates. This could be complicated, but she nods. She walks to the private ward. David sits propped up in bed, monitors beeping, hospital gown wrinkled. He looks up, tries to focus. "You think I'm killing myself with work, don't you?" Sarah helps him settle back. "No, sir, just a man who forgot to rest." He laughs, a tired laugh. Coffee stains on his laptop. She closes it gently. He needs to sleep. The monitoring continues quietly. Hours pass, tests run, then stabilize. She glances at the monitor. He's finally sleeping. His face looks younger, peaceful. 3 a.m., they're still there. His room overlooks the city. Sarah checks vitals. "Sir, you need proper rest." No response, he's out completely. She takes a breath, then carefully adjusts his pillows. He's thinner than she expected. The nurse recognizes the situation, brings a blanket, says nothing. Sarah stays by his bedside. The room is quiet, medical equipment humming, city lights everywhere. She finds a chair, sits beside him, monitors his breathing. He shifts slightly, his hand moves, weak but searching. His eyes flutter open barely. "Don't let me die alone like my father did." Sarah freezes. Something breaks in his voice, something real. She takes his hand gently. "I won't, sir, sleep now." His grip loosens, he's gone again. Sarah stays, finds his water, refills it, leaves it on his table, checks his medication, adjusts the IV. She walks to the window, looks out at the rain. Rain streams down the glass. The city glows below, millions of lights, millions of lives. She thinks about Alex, about reading to him tonight, about helping with his science project like she promised after her shift ended, about the drawing he made her, a stick figure mom holding a stethoscope. "That's you, Mommy," he always says. She pulls out her phone, texts the charge nurse. He's stable, sleeping. "I'll monitor through the night." She sits back in the chair, closes her eyes just for a minute. The chair is uncomfortable, too uncomfortable. She drifts off, rain drumming, machines beeping. Outside, the storm grows stronger. Inside, 2 strangers rest, one in a bed, one in a chair. Neither knowing how much everything is about to change. Subscribe if you believe compassion never goes unnoticed. Morning light breaks through the windows, harsh, unforgiving. David's eyes open, his head throbs, his chest feels tight. He sits up slowly. He's in his hospital bed, still connected to monitors. But someone else is there, blanket covers him. Water and medications sit on his table. He didn't arrange those. Memories flood back, the collapse, the pain, Dr. Mitchell. Panic rises in his chest. He looks around, walks carefully to the door, he stops cold. Sarah is at the nurse's station, reviewing charts, hair tied back. Her white coat wrinkled, she looks up. Good morning, your vitals normalized overnight. David stares, something feels off. He looks down, he's wearing a different hospital gown, a clean one. His face goes red. Wait, did you change my gown? No, sir, the night nurse did, you were sweating through it. I supervised to ensure proper care. Silence fills the space between them. You had a fever, we needed to monitor closely. I stayed nearby in case of emergency. David sits down slowly, his hands shake. Not from illness, from something else. Confusion, vulnerability, gratitude. Her eyes are tired. She worked through the night in that chair. You didn't have to stay personally, did you? The question hangs in the air, clinical, necessary. Sarah meets his eyes. No, but I don't leave patients who might crash, even when my shift ends. He studies her face, looking for pity, finding none. Several seconds pass, then he speaks, quieter now. You sound like my father, Dr. Mitchell. She doesn't respond, just hands him his medication schedule. 2 pills, 3 times daily. How do you know what matters to me? She probably reviewed his file 100 times, he never noticed. She picks up her tablet. I'll see you on rounds. She's at the door when he speaks, softer now. Thank you, she nods once, then she's gone. David sits alone, medication untouched. He pulls out his phone, 47 missed calls, 89 messages, all from work, all urgent. His stomach drops. That afternoon, the hospital is a battlefield. Someone leaked information. Dr. Mitchell stayed overnight with patient David Chen, her chair pulled close to his bed, his hand near hers on the blanket. The rumor spreads like wildfire. She totally crossed professional boundaries. Smart move, wealthy patient, probably looking for a lawsuit. Women doctors get too emotional, then they expect special treatment. Single mom needs money, saw her opportunity. You know how they are, always looking for security. The whispers follow Sarah everywhere. Hallways, cafeteria, parking lot. People move away when she approaches. Conversations stop. Eyes look away. She's seen that look before. The judgment, the assumption. She keeps her head down, does her job, says nothing. Her mother taught her that. Sarah, you'll have to work twice as hard to be seen as half as good. And when they come for you, let your character speak. One doctor from oncology walks past, loud enough for others to hear. Must be nice, having wealthy patients. Sarah's jaw tightens, but she keeps walking. In her office, Sarah hears it all, through colleagues, through her staff, through glances. Her supervisor comes in, face neutral. Dr. Mitchell, there's concern about last night. Maybe we should discuss boundaries. Sarah's voice is ice. What boundaries? About Mr. Chen. People are questioning your judgment. What are they questioning exactly? The supervisor hesitates. That your relationship with the patient is inappropriate. Sarah's hands curl into fists. What relationship? I monitored a critical patient overnight. Exactly, you stayed personally when others could have. The supervisor leaves. Sarah stares at her computer, not typing. Late afternoon, she gets an email from administration. Report to medical review board, 4 p.m. immediately. She walks in. The board sits at a long table, alone, door closed. Sit down, Dr. Mitchell. She remains standing. If this is about patient care standards, it is, and we need to understand your decisions. Sarah's voice stays calm. My decisions followed proper medical protocol. You stayed overnight with a patient in his private room. Yes, monitoring a cardiac event. You could have assigned the duty to residents. He arrested twice during the night. I handled it myself. You formed an attachment. Sarah's jaw tightens, but her voice stays measured. I formed a commitment to keep a patient alive. Long silence, the air conditioning hums. Finally, the chief speaks, his voice different now, concerned. Dr. Mitchell, why? Because he asked me not to let him die alone, because it was the right thing to do, because that's what doctors should do. She looks away, out the window, at the ambulances below. You could have documented it differently, avoided all this. Yes, sir, but the patient needed care, not paperwork. Long silence again. Finally, the chief speaks, his voice tired. You may go. Sarah turns, hand on the door. Dr. Mitchell, she looks back. Do you regret it? She thinks about Alex, about the lesson she teaches him, about being the doctor she'll remember, about what her father used to say during rounds when she shadowed him. Do what's right for the patient, even when it costs you. God sees what administrators don't. No, sir, I don't regret providing proper medical care, even when it costs me professionally. She leaves. The board sits together, hands folded, faces unreadable. But their silence tells a different story: doubt, concern, respect. The chief picks up his tablet, opens the hospital security system, scrolls through footage from that night. He watches Sarah rush to David's room when he crashed, her movements careful, professional, hands never inappropriate. He watches David reach out in distress, watches her take his hand medically, watches her choose compassion. He closes his tablet, leans back. Outside, the sun sets. The hospital prepares for evening shift. Inside, a medical board sits in dim light, thinking about a doctor who chose patient care over career protection, presence over protocol, who didn't defend herself loudly, didn't demand vindication, didn't compromise her ethics. His phone buzzes, a message from risk management. Multiple complaints filed against Dr. Mitchell. Boundary violations with patient. Recommend immediate suspension pending investigation. The chief reads it 3 times. His finger hovers over reply. He doesn't press it, not yet. Instead, he opens a new folder, types 2 words, full investigation. Then he starts reviewing footage himself. Type integrity if you believe silence speaks volumes. 3 days later, Sarah receives a notice. Dr. Mitchell is suspended from duty pending ethics review. She reads it twice, then folds it carefully, puts it in her bag. She doesn't argue, doesn't protest, just nods. I understand. That night, Alex asks her at dinner. Mom, why are you home so early? Sarah cuts his sandwich into smaller pieces. The hospital gave me some time off, honey, like spring break, something like that. He smiles, goes back to his homework. A math problem with equations, her tall and professional, him smaller, learning. Sarah watches him, her chest tight. The next morning, an anonymous message spreads through the hospital. Subject line, what really happened that night? Attached is security footage, edited clips. It shows Sarah staying close to David's bed, her movements careful, his hand reaching. Then a caption appears in the message. Looks like the good doctor got exactly what she wanted, a wealthy patient's attention. The video has been edited, angles chosen strategically, music added, made to look suspicious. Comments flood the hospital message board. This is unethical. She should lose her license. Taking advantage of a vulnerable patient. Single mothers always have ulterior motives. Sarah doesn't see any of it. Her hospital access has been revoked. She's at home, making breakfast for Alex, helping with homework, acting like everything is fine. But Alex notices, kids always do. Mom, are you sad? She looks at him, forces a smile. No, baby, I'm right where I should be. She hugs him, you're the best mom in the world. He holds her tight, she blinks back tears. That Sunday, she takes him to the library, same library her father took her to as a girl. The librarian waves at her. Heard about your situation, doctor. Keep your head up, truth always surfaces. Sarah nods. Yes, ma'am, just trying to do right. Meanwhile, at Metropolitan Hospital, the chief hasn't slept in 3 days. He's been watching footage, all of it, every camera angle, the emergency room, the private wing, the hallway, the nurse's station. And he's found something nobody else looked for, the time stamps on every monitor in David's room. It shows Sarah entering at 11:23 p.m. It shows her leaving at 6:47 a.m. But here's what matters, the room camera, continuous feed. He watches Sarah adjust David's IV, watches her check his vitals every 30 minutes, watches her document everything properly. Then he watches David's cardiac event at 2 a.m. The audio is clear, his voice panicked, desperate. Don't let me die like this, please. Sarah's response, calm, professional. You're not dying, David, breathe with me, I'm right here. Then she stabilizes him, calls the team, manages the crisis. The camera shows her sitting afterward, not moving inappropriately, not doing anything but waiting, monitoring. At 4 a.m., she's still charting, still checking monitors, still being a doctor. At 6 a.m., she reviews his file one more time, ensures all protocols followed, waits for morning shift. The footage doesn't lie. The chief watches it 4 times, then 5, then 6, each time the same truth. Sarah never wavered, never crossed boundaries, never did anything except exceptional medical care. He leans back in his chair, removes his glasses. He thinks about the complaints, the accusations, the judgment, all of it based on edited clips. None of it based on complete truth. Then he thinks about Sarah, about her silence, about her dignity, about how she could have released this footage herself, could have defended herself publicly, could have destroyed everyone who attacked her. But she didn't, she just took it, all of it, without complaint. He makes a decision. The next morning, the chief calls an emergency hospital-wide meeting. Every staff member, every department, everyone in the main conference hall. The email goes out at 7 a.m., mandatory attendance, no exceptions. People whisper, speculate, she's getting fired publicly. Making an example of boundary violations, about time. I heard they're reporting her to the medical board, this will be brutal. The conference hall fills, 600 staff members, all talking, all assuming. The chief walks onto the stage at exactly 9 a.m., no notes, no prepared remarks, just a remote control. He looks out at the sea of faces, all waiting, all judging. 3 days ago, you all formed opinions about what happened with Dr. Mitchell and her patient. Silence falls immediately. You saw edited footage, you made assumptions, you judged a doctor without knowing the complete picture. He clicks the remote, the large screen behind him lights up. This is the complete picture. The footage plays, all of it, unedited, continuous, time-stamped. The audience watches Sarah respond to David's emergency, watches her provide textbook care, watches her choose patient welfare over convenience. Watches her stay monitoring him all night, never deviating from protocol, never crossing any line. People start to shift uncomfortably in their seats. The hall is silent, completely silent. You could hear a heart monitor beep. When the video ends, the chief speaks again, his voice steady, strong, disappointed. While you were judging her, Dr. Sarah Mitchell was being the kind of physician we claim to value but rarely defend. He pauses, lets it sink in, lets them feel it. She didn't defend herself, didn't leak counter footage, didn't demand fairness. She took your accusations, your edited videos, your professional assassination, and she stayed silent because that's who she is. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out an envelope. This isn't a termination letter. The audience holds its breath. It's a commendation. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Effective immediately, Dr. Sarah Mitchell is reinstated with full honors and appointed Chief of Medical Ethics. Maury gasps, some applause, uncertain. Her job will be to train every single person in this hospital on what patient-centered care actually looks like. He looks directly at the audience, his gaze fierce, because clearly we've forgotten. Someone in the front starts clapping slowly, then others join. The applause builds, louder, stronger, but the chief isn't done. And for those of you who spread edited footage, filed false complaints, or participated in character assassination, the applause stops. HR and risk management will be contacting you individually. Your actions violated our code of conduct and patient confidentiality. He lets that hang in the air. This hospital was built on healing and trust, not gossip and edited videos. He turns off the screen. Meeting adjourned. As people file out, silent and shaken, the chief's assistant approaches. Sir, that was powerful. The chief's face is unreadable. It was necessary. What happens now? Now I personally apologize to a doctor who deserved better than what we gave her. 1 week later, Sarah returns to Metropolitan Hospital, not as a suspended doctor, as Chief of Medical Ethics. She walks through the entrance. People stare, some nod respectfully, some look away in shame. She keeps walking head high, not prideful, just present, just professional. The way her father walked, the way her mentor walked. Doctors who knew their worth didn't need to announce it. Her new office is on the administrative floor. Window view, proper desk, everything Alex was excited about. Alex's drawing is the first thing she displays, the stick figure mom with a stethoscope. Him studying beside her, centered on the wall behind her computer. That afternoon, she gives her first hospital-wide training. The conference hall is packed, everyone, mandatory attendance. The same room where the chief vindicated her. Sarah stands at the podium, no slides yet, just her truth. My name is Dr. Sarah Mitchell. Some of you know me as the doctor who got suspended. Nervous laughter ripples through the crowd. I'm not here to make you feel guilty. Guilt doesn't improve care, action does. I'm here to teach you something I learned from my son. She clicks to the next slide. Alex's drawing fills the screen. Simple, pure, honest, stick figure doctor and child. He drew this the day I got suspended. I asked him what it meant. He said, "It's you helping people, Mom. You always help people even when they don't say thank you." The room is quiet, really quiet. People listening, really listening. That's what medicine is, helping even when it's hard, even when people misunderstand, even when it costs you your reputation. She advances the slide, shows the security footage, the moment she stayed, the moment that changed everything. I stayed because he was crashing, because leaving someone in crisis, that's not who I am, and it shouldn't be who we are as healthcare providers. She looks out at the faces, sees recognition, sees shame, sees hope. Patient care isn't about optics when people are watching, it's about doing what's right when nobody would ever know the difference. It's about being the healer you'd want for your own family. The applause starts slow, then builds, then becomes thunderous. Real, earned, deserved. People stand one by one, then all together. Sarah nods, steps back, lets them process this moment. After the session, the chief approaches her in the hallway. "That was exceptional," Sarah turns. "Just honest, sir. Please call me Richard, we're colleagues now." She smiles slightly. Old habits. He hands her a folder, thick, official. "Your first assignment, redesign our entire ethics and patient care program from the ground up." That's substantial work. Good thing I appointed the right person for it. They stand in silence for a moment, comfortable silence. "I owe you an apology," Richard says quietly. "I let the complaints cloud my judgment, even after reviewing your care, even when I knew better. You were following protocol, I understand that. That doesn't make it right." Sarah looks at him, really looks at him. "You corrected it, that takes courage too, maybe more." He smiles, a real smile, not an administrative smile. "Coffee tomorrow morning to discuss the new program. I promise no medical emergencies this time." She laughs. "I'll bring my pager just in case." He laughs too, the sound genuine, warm, relieved. As she walks away, he calls back and Sarah, she turns. "Thank you for being the kind of doctor who still puts patients first. Who reminds the rest of us why we went to medical school." She nods. "Someone has to, might as well be me." That evening, Sarah picks up Alex from school. He runs to her, backpack bouncing. "Mom, did you have a good day at work?" "The best day, sweetheart, the absolute best." "Are you still sad?" She lifts him up, spins him around, not even a little bit. He giggles. "Good, because you're still the best mom ever." She sets him down, takes his hand. They walk to the car, holding hands, just like in his drawing, just like always. Above them, the city lights start to flicker on. Evening coming, night approaching. But for Sarah and Alex, everything is already bright. 1 year later, Metropolitan Hospital has transformed. New ethics program, new culture, new respect. The lobby now has a plaque. "Patient-centered care, doing what's right when no one's watching." Beneath it, a photo, the hospital's first annual Compassionate Care Award winner, Dr. Sarah Mitchell. But today isn't about awards, it's Alex's 13th birthday. Sarah planned a small gathering, just his friends, nothing fancy. She's setting up in the hospital courtyard when the chief walks over, carrying a wrapped box. "Is this the birthday celebration?" Sarah looks up, surprised. "Richard, you didn't have to come. I wanted to." Alex talks about the hospital constantly. He laughs. He wants to be a doctor like his mom. Good things, I hope, the best things. Alex runs over, sees Richard, grins wide. Chief Richard, you came. He shakes his hand formally, practicing professionalism. Richard shakes back, genuinely. Happy birthday, Alex, I brought you something. Alex opens the box. Inside, a real stethoscope, engraved with his initials, and a medical textbook, Introduction to Human Anatomy, Youth Edition. For the future doctor, Richard says softly. Alex's eyes go wide. This is amazing, thank you so much. Now I can practice like mom. He runs off to show his friends. Sarah and Richard stand together, watching the kids play. You didn't have to do that, Sarah says. I know, but he's special, like his mom. He looks at her. Things have changed a lot in a year. For the better, I think, definitely. Richard reaches into his pocket, pulls out something small, a hospital badge. I found this in my desk last week, going through old files. Sarah looks closer. It's her old suspended ID badge, the one they took. I kept it, he admits, to remind you of what, that good doctors still exist, that I should protect them better. Sarah takes the badge, holds it up to the light. You know what this reminds me of? What? That sometimes the hardest moments lead to the biggest changes. He smiles. Wise words, Chief Mitchell. I learned from the best administrator I know. They laugh together, easy, comfortable. Alex runs back over. Hey Mom, can we cut the cake now? Of course, baby. As they gather around the cake, Alex insists Richard stand next to Sarah for the picture. Someone takes the photo. Sarah and Richard, Alex between them, all smiling. Later, after the party, after the guests leave, Sarah and Alex walk to the car. Did you have fun? She asks. The best birthday ever, Mom. Good. Mom, yeah, baby. I think Chief Richard is really nice. Sarah laughs. He's a good friend. The best kind of friend, the kind who admits when they're wrong. She stops, looks at her son. When did you get so wise? You taught me. Sarah takes his hand. They walk together under the streetlights. Behind them, Richard watches from his office window. He sees them, mother and son, holding hands. He touches the glass, smiles. Then he turns back to his desk. On it, Alex's birthday card. Inside, Alex's handwriting. Thank you for believing in my mom. Richard reads it again, feels something meaningful in his chest. He picks up his phone, types a message to Sarah. Same time next year, her response comes quickly. It's a tradition now, bring the badge. He laughs, puts the phone down. Outside, the city glows. Inside, everything feels right. Some stories don't end. They just begin again, better than before. Subscribe if you believe integrity defines true professionals.